When Millicent Siegel was just 15 years old, she boarded a train from New York to California to spend the summer with her father. It was a different time. No cell phones, no internet, and she hadn't read the newspapers during the trip. When she arrived in California, she was met with devastating news. Her father had been murdered. Her father was Benjamin Bugsy Siegel, a man infamous for his ties to organized crime and one of the most notorious figures in American mob history. Siegel's criminal career began in the streets of New York, where he ran with a group of childhood friends who would go on to become legendary mobsters themselves, including Meyer Lansky and Charles Lucky Luciano. In the 1920s and 30s, Siegel was involved in bootlegging during Prohibition, running illegal gambling operations, and carrying out hits for the Mafia. He was a founding member of Murder, Inc., the enforcement arm of the National Crime Syndicate. Despite his violent past, Siegel had an eye for business and style. In the 1940s, he set his sights on Las Vegas, a dusty desert town with big potential. With backing from mob investors, Siegel took over a stalled casino project and poured millions into it. The result was the Flamingo Hotel and Casino, one of the first luxury resorts on what would become the Las Vegas Strip. According to Millicent, her father had a genuine vision for Las Vegas. She insisted that when he came to Nevada, it was with legitimate intentions to build a profitable, glamorous destination, not to serve as a mobster. But the Flamingo's early days were rocky. Construction delays and ballooning costs frustrated his backers. The casino struggled at first, and rumors swirled that money had been skimmed or mismanaged. In June 1947, Benjamin Siegel was shot and killed in Beverly Hills. Many believe the hit was ordered by his mob associates, who had grown impatient with the Flamingo's slow path to profitability. Millicent Siegel went on to defend her father's legacy for decades and passed away November 17, 2017, at the age of 86.
I think at some point in his life with Meyer, they wanted to become legitimate. They wanted to be not known as a mobster, and they wanted a business that their children could go into, but they definitely wanted a legitimate business. And to this very day, we don't know who killed him. We don't know why he was killed, and everything is speculation. And like all hotels, they just had a hard time opening and getting full swing of the thing, which is normal for a lot of businesses. I went to school, I had friends, uh, I lived in a house like everybody else. My father was away sometimes on business. Then my parents divorced. We moved back to New York, and he was out here building the hotel. And but before that, it was just a normal life in California. Some of the stories are blown out of proportion, and his idea of coming to Vegas to make a legitimate place to open a hotel was his goal. The rest of it, I just know my family life, which was a normal life, so I don't know much about New York dealings and all that kind of thing. I was too young. They don't want to know that, he was a family man. They don't want to know what his life was outside of what they said he did or not did. And he's a legend at this point, particularly about Vegas and what brought him here and what killed him. He was extremely bright. He was so young when he died that his younger life was trying to support a family, and without an education or without money to go into a business, he was always striving to make a name for himself. Somebody with no education, he held his own damn well.
Soon after we walked away, she had more visitors stop by. I could only imagine that those people were Bugsy's grandkids. Is this the start of a new era? After that, we went to the Flamingo Hotel, Inside, we found some old photos showing what Bugsy Siegel's flamingo looked like when he owned it. There are a few nods to Bugsy still around, like Bugsy and Myers Steakhouse, which, surprisingly, doesn't feature his favorite meal on the menu, spaghetti with walnut sauce. We also visited Bugsy's Bar, named after the hotel's legendary founder. It's crowned by a vintage-style neon sign that evokes the feel of old Vegas. Outside, we found the wildlife habitat, a tribute to Bugsy Siegel. He reportedly named the flamingo after his girlfriend, Virginia Hill, who reminded him of a flamingo with her fiery red hair, long legs, and pink cheeks. It's also believed that the majestic pink birds were considered good luck. We first came across a flock of Chilean pink flamingos, lazily going about their day, and who could blame them? It was a steamy 102 degrees outside. They perked up a bit when lunch was served. Freeze-dried shrimp with a side of water. Yuck. After the flamingos, we saw a brown pelican, an amazing giant bird, lounging near a turtle friend who was sunbathing nearby.
Trying to talk himself into it, I think.
Tucked behind the casino, next to a wedding chapel where the original hotel once stood, we found an often overlooked memorial honoring Bugsy Siegel, the celebrity gangster who helped put the sin in Sin City. The marker reads, "The Bugsy Building." On this site, Benjamin Bugsy Siegel's original Flamingo Hotel stood from December 26, 1946 until December 14, 1993. The hotel housed 77 rooms, including the notorious Mr. Siegel's Bugsy Suite, or Presidential Suite, as it was sometimes called. The suite was unique in more ways than one. The window panes were bulletproof, and although there was only one entrance to the top floor suite, there were 5 possible exits. This included a hidden ladder in a hallway closet that led to a basement tunnel and an underground garage, where Bugsy allegedly kept a chauffeured getaway car ready at all times. But Mr. Siegel's obsession with safety and escape routes proved to be geographically misplaced. On June 20th, 1947, 300 miles from Las Vegas, he was killed in a hail of gunfire at the Beverly Hills mansion of his girlfriend, Virginia Hill. The assailants were never identified. Bugsy Siegel played a major role in the early development of Las Vegas as a gambling destination. His vision for the Flamingo helped shape the city's future.
I know he had a temper, but he wasn't nuts.